the time Kinge was in the 7th grade, she would vehemently deny that she had even known the boy existed. It was easy enough to do since she went to Cedar Middle School and he went to Mountain View. Recess was replaced with a short break in lunch. She was no longer locked into one classroom with one group of kids, and she made friends with people she chose for herself rather than thrust upon her by circumstance. She hardly ever thought of Isaid at all. She fell in love 3 separate times that year. First with Matthias, then with Casey, and then with Matthias again. He was smart and didn't mind helping someone with homework if they needed it. He was shorter than most of the girls, but was on the basketball team and really fit. He liked to be called Maddie, but she called him Matthias when she was talking about him with her friends because she liked the sound of it. He'd had a girlfriend since Christmas, but that didn't bother her. Kinge knew that even though she was brave enough to talk to Matthias, she wasn't ready to tell him she loved him. Femi became her best friend and closest confidant. Though she enjoyed having a larger pool of friends to spend time with, Femi was familiar in a way that the rest of their small group would never be. The first year of middle school had been rocky for both of them. Everything a little bit too new and too fast, but they found their footing by the middle of that school year. In that time, Kinge had found that Femi was not as quiet as she let on, that she was full of hidden gems. Sitting next to her in a couple of classes revealed that she was really funny in her own way, making terrible puns under her breath or sarcastic comments about the material being covered. Femi had the unrivaled ability to look serenely confused after muttering something that would have Kinge chortling loudly in her seat under the teacher's unamused stare. It became a game for them, Femi trying her darndest to break her, while Kinge did her utmost to hold it together, at least until the teachers wised up and switched their seats around. The most sparkling of all of Femi's hidden gems was that she could sing. While her speaking voice was soft and light, when she sang it was a thing of power, sound moving from her diaphragm to reach the air and produce a sound that was sweet and heavy like honey, but also somehow scratched like gravel. When she sang, it was like she became a different person. She stood taller, flung her arms wide, made space for herself in a world that sometimes seemed to press her in on every side. It was one of the most beautiful things Kinge could ever say she had seen in her short life. Of course, Femi was far too shy to ever sing in public. The only reason Kinge was able to experience it at all was because the two spent nearly every weekend together, and Femi, Kinge found early on in their friendship, had a desperate, almost feral love for musicals. A love that grew on Kinge like moss, despite her best efforts and her inability to carry a tune.